What's up guys, welcome back to our lesson. Today we are going to study about sets. This is our topic today. Now a quick question, when we are talking about sets, what comes to your mind first? Or what is set for you? What is set for you? Now let me give you some examples. The first one, a set of utensils. When we are talking about a set of utensils, what comes to your mind? Or maybe let's say your mom or your dad or whoever is asking you to take a set of utensils. What will you do? Of course you will take the utensils, but what is said here? The next one, if they are asking you to take a set of gardening tools, what does it mean the word set here? When they are asking you to take a set of books, or to buy a set of books, what does it mean the word set there? When they are asking you to let's say, to take a set of cards, what does the word set mean there? Okay? Now, you can pause the video and think about it and then come back with an answer later. Now, if you've gotten the answer, let me just give you my answer. Hopefully, they match. Now, my first answer has the initial G, which stands for group. The next answer, which is a synonym, the word C, which stands for collection. The last one also C, which is for cluster. Actually there are many more, but these three actually describes the word set here. Okay, so when we are talking about set of utensils, it is actually about the group of utensils, a collection of utensils, a cluster of utensils. Let's say, what are the utensils? Do you know any utensils? Let's say fork, spoon, let's say, what is it? Colander, and many more, right? You can just name it. These are actually, they form one set, which is the set of utensils. Now, gardening tools, do you know some of them? Let's say knife. I think knife, this one is of course gardening knife, not kitchen knife. We also have knife here actually. And then the next one is of course, let's say hoe. Let's say, where is another one? Saw. You know saw, right? Or gardening fork. Now, let's say if you are asked to take or to buy books, let's say if you want to buy a set of books, let's say that set of books contains history books, math books, biology books, chemistry books, and so on. Now, a set of cards, of course, that in one set of cards contains, jack, right? If I can show you the pictures, I want to show it, but you just imagine it. Jack, queen, king, 1, 2, and so on. Okay? You just name them. Now, this jack, queen, king, and so on, they form one set. They are called set of cards, right? You can name this set of cards, let's say like set A, right? You can name it. You can also name the set of history, you can name the collection of these books, history, math, bio, and chem, as set B, and so on. So again, I just want to emphasize this again. The collection of these all math, history, bio, and chemistry books, they form one set, which is set of books. In this case, set B. Knife, hoe, saw, and so on, they form one collection, which is a set of gardening tools, right? Which, let's say, we name it as set C. Fork, spoon, colander, knife, and so on, they form one set, which is set of utensils. Let's name it D, set D. So now let's come back to our definition, our simple definition. I think you know already since we've given many examples. Set is a collection of distinct letters, numbers, letters as in alphabet, ABC, numbers, or things. Now, our examples up here, it is actually about collection of things, right? Now, things here, for example, in the set of cards is like Jack, Queen, and so on. So now you know it. A collection, this is the key answer. Set is a collection and distinct something. Now, we have some more examples here. Let's say set D. Set D is formed or contains fork, spoon, colander, knife, and so on. This actually denotes for a set of utensils, right? Because fork is utensils. So this one is actually it, sorry. Okay? So, okay, the next one, sauce, hose, gardening fork, and so on. Actually, they form one set, which is set E. And this set E is actually a set of gardening tools in the second part here. Now, from this, you know already that this fork form colander, they form one set, which is set D, right? And set D is utensils. I just repeat that again so that you will understand. Now, let's come back to math. These are all actually the real life example, okay? Now, in math, of course, we'll deal with a simpler, analogy. Let's say in the word engineering, since you're taking engineering, right? Engineering. In this part, let's count it. How many letters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 11 letters, right? And then the collection of these letters form one set. Let's say that set is set, do you have any idea? Let's say set F. That set is called set F, right? Now, if I want to write it in mathematical language, I'll write it as set F is composed of E, N, G, I, and R. Why I just write these 5 letters instead of these 11 letters? Now, let's go back to our very definition. Set is a collection of distinct. You know the meaning of distinct? It means different. So it simply means that you cannot write 2 elements or 2 letters or 2 things that are the same again and again in one set. And there are 3 N's, right? 1 N, second N, and the third N. You just write one of them. You cannot write 3 of them. The same as G and I and R, okay? So again, you just write them once. And this F is usually called set F. And it is actually written in capital letter. Or if you don't know that, it is actually big letter, F. And then, what are inside these actually called elements. So E, N, G, I, R, they are called elements. Or in other words, they are called also members. Okay? So they are the member of F. They are the elements of F. And in set, we need to always write it in the form of this bracket. Like the bracket like that. And if you want to close it, like that, okay? So that's how you write set in mathematical way. Now, how many elements or members does F have? There are 5 elements or 5 members, right? And these 5 members are written in small letters. E is written in small letters, N is in small letter, G is in small letter, I and R are in small letters, right? Now, in mathematics, of course, we don't want to write such thing as like, I'll just erase this and this one. We don't want to write it like E is an element of blah, blah, blah. We don't want to write it as E is an element of set F, which denotes for engineering. Now, we don't want to write that. We want to write it in a simpler way, in a short way. That's mathematics. That's all about mathematics. We want to shorten it. So we will change some of the language, the normal language, into mathematical language. And in this part, element or member is denoted as this sign. So it is symbolized as this sign, okay? Now, if it is not an element, we symbolize it as this. This is element. This is not element, okay? Now, let me give you a quick example. Let's say, let me ask you a question. Is E an element of F? Yes, it is. So it means E, you can just say, and is an element of F. You can just write it in that way. You don't have to write it in a long sentence. Or it simply means E is a member of F. Or E, another word for that is E belongs to F. Okay? So that's actually, those are similar, they have similar meaning anyway. How about N? Does N belong to F? Is N an element of F? Is N a member of F? Yes, it is. So we just write it as an element of F. How about G? G also is an element of F, so we just write it as G, an element of F. How about B? Since B is not found in this set, inside the members of a set, it means B is simply not an element of F. So we'll write it as that. B is not an element of F, or B is not a member of F, or B doesn't belong to F. How about, let's say, S? Does S belong to set F? Of course not. So it means the same thing. We just write it as that. So that's actually, a basic symbols about sets. And I think you understand a lot now about set. Now we can go to some mathematics example. Now, I've written down some examples here. The first example is M denotes the set of months in a year. Remember, set of months, okay? That's M. Write down its elements. How do you write down set? Now, I'll go back to our example a while ago, engineering. This is how you write set, okay? The first, with this, in a capital letter, bridged by equal sign, and then open bracket, and then inside that open bracket is elements which are written in small letters. Now, in this case, since M is months in a year, so in 1 year there are 12 months, right? 12 months. So it means we can write it as M equals to, inside the bracket, January, right? You can write it in long form, but I just want to, shorten it. February, March, April, May, just write them all. June, July, August, September, October, November, and the last one is December, and then close bracket. Now, these 12 members are actually the members of M. Now, if you want to write it in the form of like element, like what we did before, you just write Jan is an element of M. Feb belongs to M. March is a member of M. How about Maximus? Let's say Maximus. Is it an element of M? Of course not, right? Or does Maximus belong to M? It doesn't. So Max is not an element of M. Let's say, what is it? Let's say Mary. Is Mary a member of M? Of course not. So Mary is not an element of M. The second example, I hope by the last example you can understand a lot about sets already. F denotes for the set of the first positive numbers. Remember, the first 5 positive numbers. That's actually F. List down its elements, list down the members. Okay, since F, I'll just write it here. This is how you write sets, right? The first 5 positive, try to think about it and then come back to our video. If you've gotten the answer, let's list them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are the 5 numbers, right? So these are actually the members or the elements of F. They belong to F. And how many of them? They are 5 members. There are 5 elements. So you can just write it again like 1 is an element of F and so on. But 6 is not an element of F, so you can write it as that. 7 also is not an element of F, so just write it as that. That's all for a quick concept about sets. Let's go to your homework, and then you can do it at home, and then later you can come back to match the answer of your homework of your answer and with my answer. Think about it. It means your homework. H, this is H, letter H, denotes for the set of days. Remember the set of days in a week. List down its elements. Now, pause the video and then do your homework for a minute or some seconds and then come back. If you've gotten the answer, try to match your answer with mine. So I'll just directly write it here. H equals to, open bracket, Monday, Tuesday, just write it in a long form, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then close bracket. Now, these are actually the elements of H, which denotes for the set of days. So if you want to write it again as like Monday as an element of H, you just write it as Monday is an element of H, Tuesday is an element of H, Wednesday is an element of H. But tomorrow is not an element of H. Why? Because simply because tomorrow is not inside this. Or let's say yesterday is not an element or is not a member of H simply because yesterday is not a member of H. So yesterday doesn't compose H, right? So that's actually for the basic concept about sets.